Hey there, yogis. This is Stephen Chang coming to you live from Simha Yoga Lab in Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. Venmo is my preferred way of payment, and my handle is Simha Yoga Lab, and the four-digit ID code for verification is 8096. Classes are $10. If you're having a difficult time right now, $5 is fine. Please do the best you can. I'm streaming on Instagram and on Facebook, and the videos are then uploaded to my YouTube channel, Simha Yoga Lab. If you're thinking about coming to in-studio classes, please make sure to go to my website again, look for the text in pink, and those are the instructions on how to pre-register for class. There is a waiver for you to download and then e-sign. Alternatively, you can print it out, actually sign it, either then scan it or photograph it and reattach it to an email that you're going to send to me for pre-registration. So please look on the website for the instructions for all of that. Today's class is basics. It is a level 1. It is suitable for those of you who are beginners, or if you're just looking for a much more mellow practice, more basic practice. If you're working with any kind of injuries, special conditions, or limitations, please make sure you always check in. If I'm going a little bit out of your range and it's not appropriate for you to take the pose, make sure to modify or skip the pose altogether. Really important not to do anything that is not appropriate for your body. Okay, for those of you who have tighter hips or tight lower back, highly recommend for you to elevate by sitting up on a block, a blanket, a book, or a towel. Connect to an even seat. Let the palms face up. And with the fingers in Dhyana Mudra, thumb and index fingers touching, allow your shoulders to broaden as you start to connect to the breath, lips are touching. Drawing the senses inwards. And as you breathe, let the inhale reach up toward the sky as you lengthen through the spine. And then with the exhale, ground firmly and evenly through your seat. Inhaling again, expansion of the lungs in all directions. And then with the exhale, emptying it all out. Continue to take the next few breaths at your own pace. Three arms together in here. Keeping the eyes closed, hands together in prayer in front of the heart, pressing the thumbs into your heart, heart back into the thumbs, lifting the heart up toward the sky, setting your intention for yoga practice, devoting your practice to someone or something, or to yourself, your supreme self that lives within your heart. Mantra for purification, purifying the space in which you practice yoga. Call and response. Om Pavitraha, Om Pavitraha, Pavitrava, Pavitrava, Sarva Vushtan, Sarva Vushtan, Katopiva, Katopiva, Yaha Smarit, Yaha Smarit, Pundrikaksham, Pundrikaksham, Sapahya, Sapahya, Pihendraha, Pihendraha, Suchihi, Suchihi. Beginning to open the eyes, palms face up. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, right ear to the right shoulder, right hand to the left side. Elongate through the left side of the neck. Chin toward the right shoulder. Release back to center, drop the right hand. Left ear to the left shoulder, left hand to the right side. And chin toward the left shoulder. Release back to center, drop left hand. Chin toward the chest. Big circles with the head in one direction. Ear to one side. Roll it back. Opposite side. Roll it center. Take a few more rounds at your own pace. Chin back to center and pause. And then take in the opposite direction. Come back to center again. And lift the chin parallel to the floor and neutral spine, coming off your blocks. Extend the legs forward, separating your feet. Hands are supporting to either side and turning your toes toward each other. And then roll out. Draw in. Roll out. Draw in. Take out a rotation, circling the ankles. So you're moving your hip joints, your knee joints, and your ankle joints. Take it back to center and switch them around in a rotation. Come back to center again, cross your shins, opposite shin on top. And then raising the arms up high, extend, exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to center, arms up. Exhale, twist to your left. Come back to center again, side bends, right hand down, left arm overhead. Take it back up, other side. Back to center again, legs forward, forward fold. Take it back up. Draw the left heel in, right leg back. Right? So this part is very important. You're trying to take 90 degrees and 90 degrees with the left leg and the right leg. So you want to take the shin of the left leg and parallel to from the mat. Then the left knee and the left hip line up one over the other. Okay? And you're sitting on the outer left leg, outer left hip. Then you're doing the same thing with your right leg, 90 degrees. So you're looking for a horizontal line and a vertical line. Right? So as you see, vertical line, vertical line. Just want to make sure that you understand. I'll give you a side view. Right? So horizontal line, vertical line, vertical line. The reason why I point this out is this. Inevitably, I see this a lot, right? This is not 90 degrees, right? This is like 45 degrees. I need you to find 90. The reason is because when you reach a heel a little bit wider, a little bit further out, you press the outer left leg a little bit more firmly. And that's what we're looking for. We want to press and stabilize on the outer left leg so that when we do the stretch, you're actually zeroing in on that body part. If you take the heel in, oftentimes people don't feel the same thing because you just don't have the correct tension onto the shape of the legs, on the anatomy of the legs. So make sure you're looking for 90 degrees. So left heel forward, shin parallel to the front of the mat, left leg, knee lines up with the hip, vertical line, horizontal line, flex your left foot. Do the same thing with your right leg. Now, frame your left leg with your hands to either side. So you're lining up your torso over the the inside of the left leg, right? So you're lined up. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Press the outer left leg, outer left knee to the floor. And then lean forward about halfway, 45 degrees. Now, as you lean forward with a straight spine, you're going to feel the stretch to the outer leg, left leg. Right? So I'll give you the side view again. Right? outer left leg. So as you feel the stretch outer left leg, you're also pressing into the outer left hip. Right? As we progressively get a little bit deeper, you're going to feel the difference. Now, with your hands still supporting, lean forward a little bit more. Notice now that stretch goes a little bit further back along the back of the glutes, right? You might even feel some sensation to the inner right hip as well, right? So on the front leg, you're working on the outer left leg. On the right leg, you're working on the inner right. All right, keep your left hand on the floor for support. Reach your right hand forward and crawl the right hand forward, tractioning your right hand to the floor, getting a deeper right side extension. Now, as you lower a little bit more, again, try not to round, but keep lengthening. All right, so now you might feel it yet in a different spot. And that's what we're working with. As we progressively go from here to here to here, we're working on slightly different parts along the outside of the left leg into the hip. All right, then walk your hands to the left. Adjust your left hand further to the left, and then start to rotate. So now you're taking a rotation with your spine as well as a stretch. Now keep supporting with both hands and lean forward once again. So now you might start to feel the stretch across the sacrum, maybe toward the right glute, because now you're adding a rotation. If you are ready for a little bit more, reach your right hand further out and lean forward a little bit more. So now perhaps you're getting the stretch to the lower back on the right side as well. But of course, your right arm is getting that stretch through the right fingertips, right? And start to release, come back to center. Keep the left hand to the floor and ground the palm. Raise your right arm up and side bend to your left. All right, so you're relatively high here. Just concentrate on a neutral spine and reach through your right fingertips. Come back up. Slide the left hand further out and take the left arm down. As you now reach over to the left side, you can add an arcing of the ribs. So think about the ribs lifting up toward the sky as you dip the right fingertips down. So this action of the arcing of the right side might give you more stretch through the ribs and the side body in general. Raise your right arm back up, lift back up to vertical. Keep the legs as they are. Counter twist to the right. Take it back to center. Draw the left heel in. Swing the right leg around. Sit evenly on your seat. Draw the right heel in. All right? So now I'll give you a front view once again so you can see. All right? So we came from the seated position to swing the right leg forward. Draw your left heel in, draw the right heel in. So you're intersecting the right heel with your left ankle. Right? Again, you're sitting on the outer left hip, left hand to the floor. And then you notice that the right feet comes off the floor. That's perfectly fine. You're really tilting over to the left side. Raise your right arm up, reach forward, and take the right fingertips to the floor. Now, as you reach your right fingertips forward, look at the right leg. You should observe that it is about vertical to the floor with your right shin. What you don't want is for the knee to fall out to the side. You see how my foot comes off the floor, right? We do not want that. We want to ground through the foot, and that will then require for the knee to draw in. But you don't want to collapse in either. You want a vertical line. That will keep the alignment. All right? So with your right hand reaching forward, check that the right shin is about vertical. Once you're there, you're going to re-lengthen your spine, and then as you crawl the right fingertips forward, you're going to start to fold. Now in this one, if you want to start out with a lengthier spine, and then once you get to your maximum, if you want to let the head release, go ahead. And start to walk your hands back in as you lift back up. Take the right hand behind you for support. Wrap the left arm around your right leg and twist. Take it back to center, counter twist by pressing the right arm to inner right knee. Use that resistance so that you can twist your left more actively. So it should feel really nice to your lower back. All right, release, come back to center, extend the right leg forward, extend the left leg forward, and shake it out a little bit. Just lift the hamstrings, hit the knees, release a little bit, but keep your hands supporting. All right, second side. Move your left leg out of the way and bend your right knee. So starting with your right shin, about parallel to the front of the mat, foot is flexed. And your right knee and right hip are pretty much lined up. So vertical line, horizontal line. Swing the left leg back and do the same thing. 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and flex your feet. Okay, and then you want to start to sit on the outer right hip, outer right leg, and square the torso to face forward. So now your torso is basically lined up over the right leg. Also, make sure that the inner left leg is actively pressing down. Hands to either side of the right leg. Lengthen through the spine. Right, I'll give you a side view now. Lengthen through the spine. And then bending at the elbows and start to hinge at the hips to lean forward. Try not to round, right? So depending on your mobility, maybe as when you start to go forward too much, you start to round because we don't have a lot of flexibility. Then stay up a little higher. More important is to keep this neutral spine and feel for the stretch as you lean forward, right? So if you can't get to those 45 degrees and 30 degrees, that's okay. If you have to stay a little higher, more important for you is to keep this neutral spine. All right? So for those of you who have a little bit more mobility, then lean forward a little bit more. Notice how when you go from the first position to the second position, the stretch moves a little bit. Chances are it moves back a little bit. And that's what you're looking to isolate. Small, minute movements that really make a difference. Keep the right hand supporting on the floor. Reach your left hand forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Reach forward even more. So you should feel a pretty intense outer right leg stretch, outer right hip stretch. Of course, depending on how flexible you are, right? If you're pretty flexible, you may not feel much of anything. But if you're really tight, oh yeah, you're going to feel it, right? Come back to the front view for you so you can really see. All right, so now we're going to make the adjustment and start to rotate to the right side. So I'm going to come back up a little bit. Walk your left hand further to the right side and walk your right hand further back. So now you're angling toward the right side. Ground the palm, support with your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach left hand forward. Now try to think about that lengthiness, right? Try not to twist and round the spine. This could be kind of awkward for your spine, right? So first, lengthen. Then start to rotate. As you rotate, keep that lengthiness of the spine and think the movement is happening at the hip joints, right? And of course, the spine has to come into play as well. But think about moving at the hips instead of the spine, and you'll be in much better alignment. And continue to work a little bit more deeply. Right? All depends on your flexibility, how far down you go, right? So think neutral spine, think rotation to the right. All right, begin to walk it back in. Keep the legs as they are. Ground the right palm down, raise your left arm up, and then side bending to the right. So now when you're side bending to the right, make sure you're not collapsing, right? Make sure you're not arching too much just yet. Think lengthiness and then bend at the elbows to maintain all of that lengthiness. Right? So you're basically keeping the spine pretty neutral. Right? What's making the difference is you're bending the elbow. All right, come back up. As you slide the right hand further out, take the right forearm down. So try to get that right shoulder to line up with the elbow. This vertical line gives you actually a really good amount of support. If your arm is too far forward, you're going to feel like you're collapsing down. When your head is elbows too far in, it's even worse, right? So this vertical line gives you support. Extend. Now this time, let's actually take the arch of the spine. Think about your ribs expanding as you lift the side rib upwards. And then let the shoulder and the left hand point downwards. And this gives you that arch. This gives you the arch that allows you for more openness between the ribs and getting the side stretch. Take it back up. Square back to center. And then counter twist to your left. Come back to center again. Adjust to draw the right heel in closer. Swing the left leg around. And then make sure you start to ground your feet first. Then walk your left heel in. You're intersecting your left heel with the right ankle. I'll give you a side view here. Right? So you went from here to here. Okay? So with this side view, you're going to see a little bit better my feet. Notice my left feet is not touching down. If I was sitting down on my left seat, this is what I would look like. And the knee will start to fall out to the side, just like your cross-legged position. So if I tip the weight to the other side, and I sit on the outer right leg, outer right hip, now I can elevate this left seat. And with that, my aim is to keep a vertical line with my left shin and fold forward over the right leg. Okay? So right hand to the floor. Left arm is up. Reach forward and take the left hand to the floor. Once I support, look and see that the left shin stays relatively vertical. Okay? Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Now think about lengthness as far as you can, and then you can release your head and round the spine a little bit. Start to break, make your way back up. Support with your left hand behind you. Wrap the right arm around your left knee and twist. Take it back to center on the inhale. On the exhale, counter twist to the right. So you're pressing your left arm to the inner left knee. Use that resistance. You're going to feel a really nice release to your lower back. Inhale back to center. Extend the left leg forward. Extend the right leg forward. All right, so seated forward fold, but we're going to step the feet in a little bit. You're going to flex your feet, bend at the knees, grab your shins. Inhale, lengthen. With the lengthiness of the spine, you're going to hinge at the hips to draw forward. All right, so for those of you who have a straight lower back, tight hips, and forward folding is difficult, this is your option. By bending at the knees, you're not using your hamstrings as much. And it's also easier for you to maintain the lengthiness, the integrity of that lengthiness of the spine when you draw forward. And when you do it this way, you're going to feel a nice lower back stretch, and that will be the beginning of your training for flexibility. Now, if you have a little bit more range, you can move the heels a little bit further forward. Same setup, lengthen, supporting to the shins, and then as you slide the hands forward, pull forward just a little bit, but keep lengthiness to your spine, neutral spine as you hinge the hips to draw forward. And of course, if you have more, keep working until you have the full extension, until you start to grab your feet. Right? So you might still be relatively high, but progressively you are working to draw further and further forward with lengthiness of the spine. All right, start to come back up. Keep the left leg extended. Step the right foot over. Let's take another twist. Right hand behind you. Left arm is up and twist to the right. Now keep in mind, when you're taking seated spinal twist, you want to keep a vertical line with your spine. You want to keep both feet evenly grounding to the floor so that when you twist, it's even throughout the spine. Notice if you take the elbow to outside the right leg and that extension is too deep for you, and you end up rounding and shrugging your shoulders just so they can hook the arm to the leg, then you're defeating the purpose. Then maybe better is to wrap the arm around the leg, sit up tall, and twist from there. If even that is a little bit tight for you, then take the hands to the knee. That will give you lots of space, lots of length with the arm to free up space for lengthiness of the spine as well. And then twist from there. And start to release. Inhale back to center. Exhale, counter twist to the left. Come back to center, switch sides. Right leg forward. Step the left foot over. Left hand behind you. Flex your right foot, right? So when this right leg is activated, the back of the leg pressing down to help you to stabilize. Do the same thing with the left foot. Step the foot down firmly so you're nice and supported. Left hand behind you to support. Right arm is up on the inhale. Lengthen it. Add the rotation. Add the resistance. Right arm to the top of the left leg. Twist and look behind you. Do you have a vertical line? You can always look down to see, are you vertical? Are you vertical? Or are you vertical here? Right? If this is tight for you, elbow to outside the left leg, and you have to round and shrug, then better again to wrap the arm instead, lengthen, and twist. If even that is difficult, then hands, knees, lengthen, and rotate. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, counter twist. Center again. Extend the legs forward. Raise your arms up high. Exhale, forward fold. So reach for your feet, ankles to your shins. Again, think about the spine. You don't want to round, you don't want to shrug just to grab the leg, right? And forward fold. You want lengthiness. Hinge at the hips to draw forward. You're only going as far forward as you can maintain that lengthiness. Right? You can keep working forward as deeply as you want. Right? Provided you keep the alignment. All right, start to release. Bend your knees and swing the legs back behind you. Hands and knees. Hands are about shoulders width, fingers wide spread. Middle fingers pointing straight forward or index fingers pointing straight forward. Knees about hips width, line up the hips with the knees vertically and then tuck the toes under for additional support. Taking some cat-cows. Draw the navel down, raise your tail, raise the back of the head. So this is the arching of your spine, it's a back bend. On the exhale, round the spine, chin toward the chest, dome the middle of the back up toward the sky. And you're spreading the upper back, mid back. Inhale, cow pose. Draw the navel down, raise your tail, raise the back of the head. Exhale, round the spine, cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Take it back to neutral. Reach your right foot back and tuck the right toes under. Press your hands firmly to the floor and then shift the weight back through the heel. So reaching back through the heel will give you a nice calf stretch on the right side. Press strongly into your hands. Press strongly into right tuck toe position and lift the left knee. So you're balancing here in a three-legged plank. You might step the left foot back and hook the space between the big toe and the second toe to the back of the right Achilles. Step the left foot back down, lower the knees back down, child's pose. All right. Take it back to your hands and knees. Stepping your left foot back this time, your toes are tucked under. And then once you have that positioning, lean back through that left heel, and you'll get a nice stretch through the back of the left calf. Press strongly into your hands and your left toes. Lift the right knee. You may stay here or reach back and take the space between the big toe and the second toe to the Achilles or the back of the left heel. Release your right foot back down, take the knees down, and keep your toes tucked under as you shift it back into a very active child's pose. So press firmly into your hands and shift the weight back toward your seat and then folding forward. Take it back up. Take the knees together and the thighs together, feet together, and then sitting on top of the shin. Hands to your floor, walk it slightly behind you, and then once you have the support of your hands, lift the chest, broaden your shoulders. Let's start with the gaze looking forward and just concentrate on the broadening of your shoulders and kissing of shoulder blades behind you. Now keep all of that moving at the neck and the head, drawing the head back in space. Begin to look forward again. Lift back up. Extend the arms forward. Take the left hand to the top of the right shoulder. Right hand to left elbow, and then pull toward the right so that you're drawing your left elbow in toward the center line, stretching the outer left arm, outer left shoulder. Reach your left hand forward, flip the palms, reach your left arm up and behind you. With your right hand, grab the elbow, lift the heart center up, gaze up, and lean the arms back. So you're arching your upper and mid spine. Come back to neutral spine, and then side bend to the right, so you're still using your right hand, pulling against your left elbow. You should feel a lot of openness through the left side here. Come back to neutral. Take the right hand to grab the left wrist. Extend up and do the same. Side bend to the right. Take it back to center. Release. This time I'll give you a front view. All right? Reach your hands slightly back. Lean back. Broaden your shoulders. Start with the gaze looking forward. Puff up your chest. Engage your upper back, kissing the shoulder blades together. So you should feel really broad through your pecs, through the collarbones, front of the shoulders. Your shoulder blades are kissing toward each other, and your upper back is fully engaged. Now, with the gaze looking forward, start to lean the head back and drop the head back as well. Start to look forward again. Come back to neutral. Reaching the arms forward. Right hand to your left shoulder. Left hand to your right elbow. Pull across to the left side to give your right shoulder a little bit of a stretch. And then reach your right hand forward, flip the palm up, reach up and bend the right elbow. Left hand pulling against your elbow to lift up and lean back. So you're arching back, looking upwards towards the sky. Coming back to neutral, continue to apply that pull and then side bending to the left. So you're pulling to the outer right elbow. So you should get a nice stretch through this part of your shoulder and side ribs. Take it back to center. Reach up with your left hand, grab the right wrist, and again, side bending to the left. Take it back up to center, release. Walk your hands forward. Tuck the toes under. That should feel quite strange, right? Because then all the blood is rushing back to your toes and you feel like your toes are numb. All right, lift the knees and start with a short down dog and just pedal out the legs. As your legs start to gain more flexibility and mobility, getting lots of oxygenated blood through the legs, then you'll start to lose some of that numbness and get back to a much more normal state. Start to walk your feet back into the distance of down dog. So you're in an inverted V. Pressing your palms firmly toward the floor, and then the heels are reaching back and down. Now, your heels never actually touch down. You're always reaching. Now, if your hamstrings are tight, you might want to keep the knee slightly bent. If your hamstrings are pretty flexible, you can lengthen. Just shift the weight back toward your seat and toward your heels. Let the head release. Inhale, raise your right leg up, three-legged dog. Step the right foot forward, take the back heel down. Warrior one, raising the arms top. On the exhale, open it up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, right arm up and back. Exhale, side angle. Right hand to inside the foot, left arm up. If you have the flexibility, stay here. That's tough for you. You can take the right arm to top the right leg, so this elevation really helps with your pose. Extend it, left palm to face down, and reach forward to a diagonal and reach. All right, if you have the right hand to the floor, that's what it looks like. Take it back up, reverse warrior. Right arm up and back. Lengthen out the right leg, triangle. Right hand to top the shin, left arm up. Now, if you have a little bit more flexibility and you can reach a little bit further down, that could be a good option. If you can reach all the way down, then that's where you are, left arm up. Extended triangle, left palm to face down and reach forward. Take it back up. Reverse triangle, right arm up and back. And then bend the front knee, hands to the floor, right foot stepping back. Plank. Inhale, one breath. Exhale, push up, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, roll it back down, dog. Inhale, left heel up. Exhale, step the left foot forward, back heel comes down, warrior one. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, left arm up and back. Exhale, side angle. Modifying, elbows to top leg, right arm up, or the left hand touching down, right arm up. Extend it, right palm to face down and reach forward. Inhale, come back up, reverse warrior. Lengthen out the left leg, triangle. Take the hand to top of the shin, right arm up. A little bit more range, lower down. Even more range, full expression. Left hand to the floor, right arm up. Extend it. Right palm facing down, reaching forward. Inhale, take back up, reverse triangle. And bending the front knee, hands to the floor, left foot stepping back. Inhale, one breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left heel up. Step the left foot forward. Crescent moon. Right knee comes down. Untuck the back toes. Walk your hands to the top of the thighs. Now, make note of this. When you lean the hips forward, you're stretching the right quads, you're going into the hip flexors, right? What you also want is a vertical shin. This vertical shin gives you really nice support. Now, if you go too far, you're going to feel like you're not getting a lot of support and you're going too deeply into the upper hamstrings. You're going into a split, essentially. That requires a lot of flexibility. You may not be there, right? Or if your foot is too far back, you may not have a lot of stability because your foot is closer to your back knee. So, my recommendation, the most basic, most stable position is a vertical line here. Knee to ankle alignment, vertical shin. Right? You'll notice that vertical structures are most supportive. Let's start with the hands at the top of the thighs. Lean the hips forward, and the upper torso leans back, creating a back bend. If this is good, stay here. You don't need to do any more. If you can free up your hands and can take the arms up for Venus Mudra, index fingers pointing up, interlacing all the other fingers, reach up and back. This is your crescent moon. Now, if your arms join this far back, it's difficult for you. Arms can reach up. Arms can reach straight forward. That's an option. Now, if your hands together, it's still too tight. You can separate, shoulders width. You can separate wider. So you have all of these options, right? So as long as you have left and right symmetrical with your torso, you're okay. Right? Unless you're taking a variation. Two breaths. All righty, let's start to release. Let the hands come down for support. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and let's step the left foot back to down dog. Pedal out your legs. Second side. Right leg up. Step the right foot forward between your hands. Left knee comes down. Adjust your front foot accordingly. Back toes are untucked. Walk your hands to the top of the thighs and lunge forward. Check for vertical lunge. Once you're set, press your hands into your thighs. Lean the upper torso back and gently start to look forward and slightly upwards. All right, so you're going into your quad stretch, hip opener, heart opener, back bending. If you want to free up your hands, take the Venus Mudra, many options. Right? Or just your hands to the top of the thighs and take it supportive. Two more breaths. And begin to break. Hands to either side. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee, and step the right foot back to down dog, and pedal out your legs side to side. Pigeon. Left leg up. Left knee in toward the nose. Land the left shin to the floor. You're on the top of the left shin, pointed toe position. Left knee, left thigh angles out to side 30 to 45 degrees. With your hands supporting, inch your right knee further back and lower the hips. Now, make sure, for those of you who are pretty high in the hips here, right? Perhaps you're not so flexible and that's why you're so high. But make sure it's because you're not so flexible, not because you did not make the adjustment. What is necessary is for you to make the adjustment of sliding the right knee further back so that you can lower the hips. When you lower your hips, you're going to get more grounded. You're going to spread the space between the front leg and the back knee. The wider you go, the more support you have in this line. Okay? So it's very important for you to lower the hips the best you can. And once you're nice and level with the hips and lengthy in your spine, then you can start to make your way forward. Stay on your forearms and make pillows with the hands and draw forward. Now, wherever you are in this position, whether you're higher up or lower down with your torso, I want you to start to use your mind's eye and feel for levelness in your pelvis. You should not feel like you're sitting all the way to the left. You should not feel like you're rolling all the way to the right either. You should be even. Right? When you're even, you should feel a nice stretch to your left glute. Right? Because you're compressed in the front leg, you're going to feel some sensation to your left foot, left shin, left knee, left thigh. Right? Actively reach your right toes back through a pointed toe position. So now the front of the right leg is getting some stretch. You're being fully supportive with your arms for your forehead, for your torso. All right, let's break. Lift the elbows up. Walk your hands back in. Tuck the right toes under and press it back to the down dog and take lots of movement, pedaling out the legs, walking it out side to side. All right, so if you have poor circulation or really tight hips, that pigeon pose could be kind of compressive and then also restricts your blood a little bit. So when you come out of the pose, you might feel pins and needles or numbness, right? Perfectly normal, right? So that's just your anatomy for now. As you continue to take these poses, it might start to change. You might get more flexibility and less cut off of that feminine circulation, right? Second side, right leg up for pigeon. Draw the right knee in. Pointed toe position. Land the shin to the floor. Right knee, right side, angles out to the side, 30 to 45 degrees. With your hands supporting, right? You're going to inch your left knee further back to lower your feet. Untuck the toes. Walk your hands back, elongate. This is where you investigate. Are you level? Is the spine pretty vertical and straight? If you're pretty much aligned and feeling pretty level and balanced, then take the hands forward, forearms down, or make pillows with the hands and release forward. All right, so depending on your openness, we all feel pigeon differently, right? If your hips are tight and you're pretty low and you're kind of reaching your max, you're going to feel a lot of stretch into your right glutes. You're going to feel a lot of compression, right, to the top of the right leg, into the knee, into the quads, right? Because if you're lacking flexibility, this kind of compression could feel kind of restrictive, right? So try not to overdo it. If you need to come out of it because you're feeling numbness, too much numbness, where it's not comfortable at all, then you can slide out of it, maybe move around a little bit, get some circulation back, and then come back into it, right? Totally possible. Yeah, 3 more deep breaths. All righty. Start to make your way back out. Hands to the floor, lift the elbows up. Walk your hands back in. Tuck the left toes under. And press it right back to your down dog. And then take lots of movement side to side. Then start to walk your feet forward towards your hands. And take the feet down. With your hands to either side, slide your hands out to lower onto your back. Let's take bridge. Walk your feet in towards your heels, separating your feet about hip width. With your fingertips, feel for the back of the heels. Right? Now you're properly measured out. Chances are your knees and your heels are lined up, and your feet are about hip width. Ground the palms to the floor. Press into heels and lift the hips up. Now, as you lift your hips up, right? You're activating your quads, you're activating your upper back. Now, if you want to keep the palms flat, forearms down, then that's good, right? That's okay. If you want to go further, interlace your hands. Shift to one shoulder, walk the opposite shoulder in. Shift back to that shoulder, and then walk the first shoulder in. So now you're stepping on the shoulder blades, the back of the head, the fist maybe, or the outer arms, and then the heels. Keep lifting up. Keep pressing the heels down, activating your quads to lift. Begin to release your hands. Lower the feet all the way down. Walk your left foot slightly further forward so that you can take a right ankle on top of the left knee. Flex your right foot. Walk your left heel in a little bit closer. Pick up that foot, draw the left leg in. And thread the arms through the legs to grab the front of the left shin. Make sure you continue to flex your right foot so that you're keeping your knee joint and your ankle joints safe. Start to release your right foot down. Switch sides. Start to release your left foot down. Sorry. Switch sides. Right foot comes to the floor. You can walk the right foot further forward, right? Which then basically lowers the leg so that it's easier for you to keep left ankle on top of the right knee. Make sure you flex your left foot, right? Anytime you're in this figure four position, flex your left foot so you don't overstretch your outer knee. Walk your right foot in. And then pick up the right foot, thread the arms through the legs to grab the front of the right shin. Keep the left foot flexed as you draw that heel or the shin in towards your chest. And begin to release your right foot back to the floor. Step the left foot back as well. And then slide the legs forward, separating your feet, toes turned out. Arms alongside the body, palms face up. Let your shoulders release, let the head release. Eyes are closed, lips are gentle. Shavasana, final relaxation. Begin to take your breath back in. And start to move the fingers and the toes. Reach the arms overhead, stretching in opposite direction. And then rolling over to the right side. Come up to a comfortable cross-legged position. Reconnecting to an even seat. A lengthy spine, shoulders broad, breath deep. And let the neck be free. Inhale for Om. Hands together in prayer, bowing forward, sealing the practice. Come up. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. I appreciate your time. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule, as well as my payment information. My preferred way of payment is through Venmo, and my handle is Simha Yoga Lab, and the 4-digit ID code is 8096 if you're prompted for verification. Costs are $10, and if you're having a difficult time now, $5 is fine. I am streaming on Instagram and on Facebook, and the videos are then uploaded to my YouTube channel. YouTube channel is Simha Yoga Lab. You can visit any of those platforms to practice anytime. Go to my website, simhayoga.com, for the information. Also on the website is sign-up information, pre-registration information for if you want to come to in-studio classes. Make sure you follow the instructions of downloading the waiver and e-signing. That is quite important for liability as well as contact tracing, so it's very important for you to do that. All right? So thank you for your time again. Be well. Take care. I will see you soon.